Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tommy.
And this is
T2 Baseball.
Before we jump in, please like and subscribe. We don't make any money off of this, so it just costs us. So please, that helps us. Maybe eventually we can monetize.
One day.
We're going to look at a player swing, Jason Heyward, who played here in Chicago for, he had an 8-year contract, ended up playing 7 years. The Cubs released him for this season, and the Dodgers have picked him up. He, was a great athlete, 6'5", 240 pounds, really strong arm, moved well, seemingly a good guy. Unfortunately, he's going to be known in Chicago for his defense and for giving the pep talk speech during the rain delay of Game 7 of the 2016 World Series, which all of his teammates gave him credit for. But really, you want his play on the field to be where he contributes, not necessarily just in the dugout, although that's a good thing. So this year he's with the Dodgers. They're only going to be on the hook for about $720,000 of his pay, which is league minimum. The Cubs are paying the rest. But it kind of tells you something that the Cubs basically are going to pay the rest of it, like $20-something million this year to play somewhere else. Which, I don't know how to feel about that. So let's jump right in and have a look. So we're going to look at Chris Bryant's swing here. I like his swing because he doesn't have a lot of extra movement. I think he's got great technique with his swing. I know he plays for Colorado Rockies now, and I kind of wish he still played for the Cubs. But his time at the end of the Cubs there,
good.
He had some injuries, but
besides that,
they weren't going to compete for a couple of years, so he's better off being somewhere maybe. And he signed a big contract with Colorado. So this is his stance where he starts. I think is a nice kind of
balance.
It's an athletic. Yeah, it is. Right. So I'm just going to draw this line here to show where his head starts. Okay. He goes into a swing. He's got a leg kick.
If you watch his head, though, it's going to stay exactly or relatively the same.
Once he gets into his launch position, the head stays.
It's relatively in the same position, though, the whole time.
Right. So he's going to launch now. Right.
You can see it not moving.
It moves. Right. He's like, when in his launch position.
Except when he's turning, obviously.
He's not moving. But here, not hardly moving at all until he starts to really swing. I mean, that's different. He's got the bat into the zone very early. He turned the barrel. He's not just swinging down. It's actually into the zone now. Okay. So then you look at a couple of angles here.
There we go.
So I'm going to adjust that because it's not exactly right. So
here, let me do it.
So it's a little more.
It's like 6. It's like about.
It's fine.
I just want to.
Yeah, it's a little more. Okay. But I think that line at the bottom is probably a little. It's around 16. I'm going to say 15 to 16. This isn't exact. So that's good.
There we go.
He also, and you can see this really easily.
His leg.
When he turns,
his head is right above the plate.
What is he doing? He's spinning around. It's pretty like. He's going around an axis. He's not
moving his whole body.
He's not moving backwards.
He's not leaning forward or backwards. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And if you watch his shoulder, he goes into the swing. What's turning that bat? His hands or his torso?
Torso?
Yeah. And
technically also his hands, but mostly torso.
Right. And his hips are turning. Right?
Mostly his hips and torso are turning.
Right. Until here. Then his hands are getting out.
And they kind of finish through.
Right. But his torso is still moving, even through there, right?
He's kind of holding it there, and it's just kind of coming with it in a way.
Right, but it didn't stop. And then he's what you call hitting against a firm front side, because look at his front leg. Yeah. It's completely straight. And we think he pulled that ball, right? Yeah. Probably, because he hit it pretty far out in front.
You can see it that way, going that way.
And he hit it pretty out in front of the plate, so.
Yeah, hit kind of that.
Right. So now I want to go back and look at a Jason Heyward swing, and this is an older swing of his. So this is when he played for the Braves. This is when the thought was he was going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's got a leg kick. It's kind of exaggerated.
Yeah.
He's kind of doing
the
splits to a degree.
It's okay. It's okay though.
Okay. Right. You can hit.
You can
Except
already.
he's still moving.
He's moving forward
He's
and
still
down.
moving. He's still moving. He's still moving. His head down.
I don't know why he's
So his
moving.
motion's down. Okay, the bat's coming down. He's starting a swing.
He's swinging straight down.
The bat is coming straight down. He didn't turn the barrel. He is actually swinging.
He's out in front.
His hips are moving.
It's mostly his arms, though.
His hips are moving.
They stop right there. And he keeps swinging with his arms.
His torso is not moving. It's moving negligibly.
I mean, it's still good.
The bat is flat now. It's flat now, and it has a little bit of upward swing here, but only because he got to the bottom of his reach. He couldn't go down any farther because his arms were straight out, and then he hit the ball. This is a home run. This was a home run, believe it or not. But it was all arms.
His stance, though, now.
It was crazy. It's completely crazy.
He keep going. His foot
his
foot just kind of...
His arm, I don't even need to tell you, but is that a positive or negative angle? It's going down.
It's going down, yeah.
Right.
It's either straight or going down.
Okay. Now look, we'll go back to the beginning of this. I wish I had a little bit more of his stance here, but it wasn't included in the video I could find. So we'll just use that as a point of reference.
So that's like a little above his head.
It is. This is a point of reference.
Okay,
just so we can kind of figure out where he started. Okay. He goes in to do a swing. His foot's planted already.
Okay.
He's still moving. He's still moving down. He's still moving down.
I mean, it's actually surprisingly, it's not that bad.
Now, when he stopped, it's okay. But we're going to look at another swing.
His swing looks kind of wonky already. Like his front.
It's all arms. It's completely arms. I've never seen a major league hitter in modern times actually swing this way, except some pitchers.
Because pitchers, they kind of go. Look at his back foot though. It's going. If I saw that, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, and like I said, he's a phenomenal athlete, and that's why he was successful at all. I think. All right, let's move ahead to another view of this type of thing.
So will be a different swing, but
okay. So this is him playing for the Cubs. Okay, and there's where he starts again.
The reverse of the picture, though.
What's that?
The reverse.
Right.
It's kind of funny. Oh.
Okay, there's roughly
his stance. You can see how wonky his stance looks.
He's laying on his back leg, which there's that's the whole thing about.
That's fine. He's fine now.
Leg. Right, it's fine. That's your stance. Your stance is not. Everyone kind of gets to the same.
Some people are crazy in their stance.
They are, but everyone should get to the same launch position. Now, the other thing too,
for it to be the most efficient swing.
Right. Now, the other thing too, but if you watch this, look how far his head moves, and look where his foot got planted. His stance is completely closed, and he's got to be his head's a foot lower than where he started. Now I know you can kind of have your own stance until you get to the launch position, but the thing is, I think you're better off starting with not such a drastic change. Have smaller movements, be a little quieter. It's okay if you wiggle your bat a little bit to feel the bat in your hands. It's okay to do that. It's just when it gets to be way more movement than you need, I think that becomes detrimental to the actual quality of the swing. And he would hit a lot of balls, but the thing is, he would pound them into the ground. So he'd hit a ball 100 miles an hour into the ground.
Not very good.
Well, it would sometimes get through, but
that's not,
with the shift, which they're banning next year, with the defensive shift, there were two extra fielders over there, or two fielders between first and second that could just pick up the ball.
That was right down the middle, so
right. Why would you need to have your arms that far out to hit a ball in the middle?
You need to see his stance like that other one.
And if you're that, get closer to the plate.
Why is he so far?
I don't know. I
didn't even notice that, actually.
I mean, he struck out. That was a strikeout. Here's another one. Watch where his foot, slightly different angle, lands way closed. Look how closed he is. You can't turn your hips if you do that.
I don't know why he did that.
You absolutely cannot turn your hips if you do that. And actually, if you go back, well, let's see. I don't know if it shows.
Benjamin Moore.
Again, look how far he moved his head.
He missed it.
Watch his head.
It's outside too. His head
and
moved
he
like
missed.
a
Right.
foot
But
down.
look how far his head moved, and he's closed.
It's like he was like ducking for
So
something.
the thought with, especially with pitches outside, you want to work from the inside out so you can hit it the other direction, not from the outside in. If you work from the outside in, you're just gonna maybe pull it to the pull side
It's not very
weakly.
good.
So that's kind of where, you know, he ended up. Now, so here's just one of your swings. I'd like to see a little bit less of a move back like that, just a little.
Yeah.
But
But
watch.
I'm wearing sweatpants. It's kind of funny.
It's fine. What's wrong with sweatpants?
I might have actually limited my mobility a little, but it wasn't that bad.
No, that's how you're supposed to swing. Now,
Better than the other guy.
you've got a little bit of an uppercut
Angle.
that you want to maybe calm down a little bit, but you're turning around your axis right there. You kept your hands next to your shoulder. Your
Yeah, I went a
turning.
little bit.
Your hips are turning. Your torso is turning, and then the bat comes around. I mean, with him, he's got his hands out. He's got what you would call with Little League, you call it bat drag. You know, you see kids kind of pull the bat kind of through at the last minute. And I mean, that's not what you're doing here. But you're turning around your axis. I mean, in terms of, you've got a better swing than Jason Heyward.
And we're back. That pretty much, I think, says it all. I'm going to put up a graphic, and we can kind of see how he compared to some of the other home run hitters in the league, and you can kind of see
that he has most of the lower.
Right, he never.
Besides the line drive.
Right, he never really hit like he should have. So let's take a look at some of the stats. So let's go on the launch angle first, which we all know.
Really low.
Launch angle's not everything, but it is something. And I mean, what do you think of that? You know,
9.5. I mean, the other ones are getting like 2 times some of them. So.
Almost. You know, Mike Trout. You know, all these other guys. Actually, Kyle Schwarber was a teammate of his for a while.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Chris Bryant, who we looked at on the video, was a teammate for a long time. But it really kind of tells you something. He was hitting the ball. You know, we'll jump over quick to the ground ball percentage. He's 49%. Almost half of the balls he hit went into the ground. And
he's like 50% almost. The other ones are all like around. Well, the other ones are around 37, 8, 9.
Right.
Which isn't like, I mean, it's 10%, but that's still bad.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, actually, no. That's yeah. It's more than 10%.
10%. Yeah. It's well. This one is 39.4, so it's 9.6.
31%. That's really good though.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you look at the fly ball rate. Again, he's
it's 10.
Less than 20% of the balls he hit were in the air.
Yeah, he's only like an 8 or whatever behind the other guy.
I mean, he's well. I mean, the next closest one
is 27.
Is right. I mean, that's a big deal, though. I think that's a big deal.
10%.
Right. His line drive percentage
wasn't as bad as it's okay.
It's not horrible, but it's down there at the bottom compared to these guys.
Besides the one other guy.
Kyle Schwarber, right?
And then we got the exit velo, which isn't bad. It's fine.
Well,
it's 3.
Big guy, real big guy. You know, in 88.
He could be doing better, but like that's still not bad.
It's not horrible. It's not horrible, but it should have been higher, I think. And he was basically hitting those balls
like maybe 95 could have been.
Into the ground for the most part.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, I don't want to. I don't want to. Right. He should have. It was all arms. His swing was such.
I mean, if you're that good, like with you, if it's that fast with just arms, I mean.
Think of what he could have done.
He could have gone like.
Think of what he could have done.
100.
That's right. Well, there are maximum ones. Those stats are available online, and there are folks hitting 115, 120.
But that's like the best, you know.
So that's all for today. We'll see you next time. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. If you don't agree with us, leave that too. I'm thinking we might get some Dodgers fans watching this video, since that's where he's going to be playing this next year. But we wish him well.
Yep.
Again.
Hopefully he can improve.
Seemed like a good guy. I hope he can.
Aren't they going to try to like get him to? Aren't they giving him lessons over there?
I don't know, and that's another thing. It's hard to know how receptive somebody is at this point in their career at any point in their career, especially when they're making that kind of money.
I mean, he's already like has enough money for the rest of his life.
He does. He doesn't really need to play anymore.
I mean, he might just be wanting to play like his rest outs for fun or whatever.
Well, when they pay you $184 million, that's what they call generational money. In other words, it's money that lasts long enough that your children
unless you're one of
and
those,
their children.
Unless you're one of those people who like spends like who wins the lottery and spends all their money. In,
I don't
like,
think he's
10
like
years.
that. There's never been any indication that he's like that.
Yeah, but you know those people.
Right, he just wasted it. So we will see you next time, and thanks for watching.